putting on a three-cushion tournament. Let's hope this is the beginning of more to come.
I would agree with that. Being a person from Muskegon, Michigan, where it used to be the manufacturing place for Brunswick billiards, it seems like they have just forgotten that they could still donate to the game by sponsoring tournaments, and but they do for the ladies. They do sponsor pool tournaments for the ladies. Maybe Mercedes can get that switched.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, it would be.
Just hit that. Ooh, this is kind of an interesting.
My guess is I think Sonny will probably hit that ball, the red ball, very thin on the right-hand side and go around it. He won't move the red ball far enough, I don't think. There's a lot of ways you can do it. I think
and that's exactly what he did.
It's like riding a bicycle, Steve. You don't forget how, you just can't do it.
Well, anytime you got balls typically in a corner like that, that's...
Usually it amounts to you're going to give some sort of an easier shot, but...
Would you rail first that ball, or would you? I would hit the red first and go around.
I think I would go off the left-hand side of the red and hit the red thin so it doesn't contact the yellow ball, and then draw the cue ball. Well, she tried to drive it back and forth on the table, and it happened to contact the yellow ball, and goodbye yellow ball.
Sonny should be going around the table here and just missing that red, hitting thin enough, and should be
that's
right
one
on the money. Unless he's long, is he long?
No,
he's right on the button.
That's a shot that he probably makes 101 times out of 100. Sonny is one of the players that seldom shoots left-handed. He can, but very often leans over a table and shoots the shot behind his back. Who else did that? Sang Lee.
Many of the Asian players I've noticed do a little bit more of that than I see other players. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that means, but that's just an observation.
Well,
by the way, let me give a shout out to Jim Shovak. He missed his flight from New York, so I'm sure he's watching the stream, and hope you're enjoying yourself. Jim Shovak is the secretary of the USBA, and he runs almost all of the tournaments that the USBA has, and so it's rare to have him missing. And look at that shot. Did he not hit that?
He did.
He just grazed it.
how do they explain this one? Short rail, long rail,
Yeah.
long rail, and red ball.
Yep. Short, long ball. Up, a little short.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of the break is playing yellow, aren't they?
Yes. Well, I don't know. I believe they have a choice.
Ah, okay.
I think they have a choice of the ball and whether they wish to break or let the. It used to be they played equal innings. In other words, if the person that broke, that shot first, if that person won the match, the other person with balls would be spotted, such as the break shot, and then they would have as many as they could make, and you could end up with a tie game.
Ah.
Now they don't do that any longer.
So whoever gets to that magic number first,
That's right.
regardless of innings,
You betcha.
is the winner. We have a nice guest that just stopped into the booth, Gilbert Najim from Los Angeles, very good player. He promised he'd buy a cue from me today, so I'm looking forward to that.
He promised. Play the cue.
To play with a cue. Oh, okay. I thought it was buy. It was just play.
To trade the cue.
Trade. Hey, how you doing? Good? Oh, I got two.
So, obviously Mercedes, who won the lag and started the game breaking, she broke with a white ball. Because I see that Sonny Show is using the red ball. I mean, the red ball, yeah. The red ball painted yellow.
That was good, Bob. I like that.
Well, you got to find some way to get out of a mistake.
Why do they start with red and then they paint it to yellow? I mean, wouldn't they be better off just starting it?
Well, so long it was always played with two white balls and a red ball.
Yes.
And to distinguish which white ball the shooter is using, they put some sort of a mark on each side of the ball.
Indeed.
And that was hard to see if you were watching something from a little distance. It was hard to see which ball was which, a spectator. So then they decided, okay, what with television, these events being televised, it'd be much easier for a spectator to see the ball if it was a different color than white.
Absolutely.
And so that allowed for the yellow. And then the second thing that occurred...
Watch this. Watch this.
Mm-hmm. They all count.
I think they call that a scratch, don't they, in the jargon?
I believe that's the polite word for it.
By the way, speaking of cues, I was mentioning earlier, we're fortunate here at this tournament to have wonderful cue maker masters. There are several Karam cues, and we have Schuler cues, and the maker of them is here, and actually he's sponsoring some of the players. But we also have Longoni cues, Crown cues,
and probably Adrian Briguera cues.
Well, yes, and if I don't say Dennis Diekman
yes,
cues,
Dennis Diekman cues.
Then I'll never hear the end of that. So I can't.
I happen to have one in my cue case.
Ah, you play with a Diekman?
Sometimes I do. It depends upon the speed of the table.
So what's your favorite cue, Bob?
Well,
all in all things considered
the cue that I used probably for a long period of time, which was a pool cue, was a Rambo cue with shafts made by Balabushka. Both of those people are in the Billiards Hall of Fame and as cue makers, And so it's obviously and they're both deceased, so I can't get anything made by either one any longer.
But the cues are worth a lot of money.
Oh yes, oh yes. And I also have a Schuler cue, and I have a Diekman cue, and probably the one that I used to win most of the tournaments was a Helmstetter.
Ah, that's what I have right now.
And that was courtesy of winning a tournament in Florida. And one of the perks of winning that tournament was the secretary of the Billiard Association said, "Bob, you can pick out a cue or from a catalog of Mr. Helmstetter, Adam Custom Cues Limited, or you can write something down, sketch a cue, whatever you wish, and they'll make it for you." So I looked at some of the cues that were in the catalog, and I thought, well, I can't really improve upon the design of those. And so I did write down the specifications, and I'm telling you, that's probably the best balanced cue that I've ever had in my hands.
Oh. Well, that's quite a testimonial.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, once in a while, bad things happen.
No.
Yeah, that was a cue. That was a cue with a wooden joint. In other words, the shaft had a dowel coming out of the shaft, which screwed down into the butt of the cue. And of course, when you have wood to wood, you try to keep them dry. And unfortunately, that was in the trunk of a car, and along with a bag of ice.
Yeah.
During the summer.
What was that bag of ice for?
Well, because one of the very fine billiard players that lived in Rockford, Illinois, Carl Leibovich, was a very good friend of mine, and he had been over in my hometown, and we had played golf together and played billiards together, and I was going to take him to the airport, and we'd also gone fishing, so he had a real nice bucket or styrofoam package with salmon in it, and which he thought would be a real good thing to take home. So I said, okay, I'll pick you up in the motel. I'll get the ice, and we'll pack the salmon in there and package it up so it's easy to go through the airport. Well, we didn't take much of the ice out of there it was frozen to start
nice
with.
Ticky.
Yes, very nice. It was frozen to start with. Well, at any rate, that's how the ice got in the trunk. And because this was summertime and I play a lot of golf and not much billiards or pool, therefore it was in there for several months.
Yes.
And when I opened that cue case, there was mold on the inside of the cue case.
Oh, she just got that corner.
What?
Just a little too tight.
And she probably could have hit it thinner.
Yes. I'll check and see what the score is, Bob.
Okay.
Score is 12-3, Sonny.
Well, he's using the A game. I would venture to say that Sonny has probably played more games with Mercedes than any other player player in this tournament has played with her.
Oh.
I believe, because she did go to New York for a while just to get some lessons on three-cushion billiards.
Sure. I didn't know that.
Yep, Sonny was one of the instructors. And I believe she probably got some information from Sang Lee.
I'm going to let you go first.
Oh boy, those hurt. You always wonder, how does it go around the ball when it's that close to the cushion? Very fine stroke by Mercedes, putting all that spin on the ball to stretch it out long enough to score on the red ball. That's two. Not quite short enough. There's that spin, when you have it on there, sometimes it makes that ball back up. Now he will attempt here, I think, to hit the cushion behind the ball. And if it has a lot of spin, it'll stretch right out to the red ball, which it did. Cross table shot. Sonny was playing some of those before the match started in practice shots, and I think he felt that the table, different manufacturers use different types of rubber on the table, and that shot that he was playing just doesn't react the same as it does on the tables he's used to playing on. So he's having a little problem with that shot.
Will you introduce yourself? I can't hear
Okay, I was just instructed by one of the gentlemen running the streaming here from this little booth that I should introduce myself. I happen to be Bob Leatherby, and I've played this game for a lot of years, probably too many years, and I think it's one of the finest games that you can play. I used to play in a lot of tournaments, so many of these players are friends that I have played against in past tournaments that, needless to say, are not last month or the last year, but several years ago.
Everybody knows me, don't they? Introduce yourself.
I already did.
Well, we have some cues that we're auctioning, or raffling, excuse me. I said auction, I meant raffle. Just a beautiful $850 Schuler cue. 3 raffle tickets for $20. So we have a lot of players that are naturally wanting to win that. So how's it going here? Do you have we need a score here?
Well, Sonny has got what I would say an insurmountable lead. Of course, with these players, we have players here that have run more than 25 billiards in a row. So if when we're playing a 25-point match, it could be over. One person could make the break shot and run 25 points. The game would be over, and the opponent never left his chair.
Score's 15-9.
And of course, the one I'm thinking of is Pedro Buena. And I don't know. I think Mason Shooney's had runs in practice that are in the 20 or more. I'm not. I would.
I believe so.
I believe it.
Oh, I think she'll like this. If she's got the gusto, huh?
It won't get there.
Won't
It'll
get
be
there?
too long.
Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes it seems, of course, everybody has their own style of shooting, but sometimes it seems like Mercedes would be even better if she just took just a little more time before she shot that shot.
Yes. Would you say she's more of a field player than an analytical?
Yes, but she knows systems.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you put those balls where she's got to hit three or four or five rails before she comes in and hits a certain spot. She's as good as anybody at trying to do that.
Oh.
And as you probably have already noticed, the people that are watching this teleprompter here or playback, you probably noticed that sometimes the shots are very easy for one person and very difficult for the other person. When that happens, the one that's getting the easy shots has control of the table.
Oh, a field goal.
Yeah. Do you get 3 points for that? No.
Okay, she's got a couple choices here. She can go feather the red.
I would think she would feather the red on the left-hand side.
Yes.
Okay. Coming over here to the short rail. and then picking up 2 rails here into the corner. Nope, she's going to
No,
go. She's going to go across the table the other way. Yes.
That surprises me. But I'm
Well,
here
she
and
hit
she's
that.
down
That's
at
right.
the table.
That's
so
right. Yeah, I'm not sure why she did it that way. It seemed to me it was a bigger ball the other way, coming in at that angle.
Yes.
Bigger ball. But again, I'm not the world beater here either.
Well, you're being modest.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Ooh, that was
Speed
a
shortened that up.
harder than he normally would shoot that
Yes,
shot.
and that's why it came all a little sharper angle than what he wanted. Speed makes a difference when you slam a ball into that cushion. It doesn't take the same angle as when you hit it easily into the cushion.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
Now we'll see what Sonny does here. Whether he's
I
going
think
to
he's going to sneak that into the corner off the left side of the white, and he'll drop it right into the corner.
Just sort of a dead ball, maybe even
Yep.
with a touch of left-hand
Reverse,
spin.
perhaps. Yep.
Yes,
And
that's
that's
what he did.
exactly what he did.
That's another one of those
And look at the leaf here.
probably 90 out of 100 shots that he would make like that.
He'll probably English this ball off of the right-hand side and lengthen it out with extreme English. And that's exactly what he did. Oh, he didn't quite get it long enough. Little thinner.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Mercedes will make this one. Thin off the red.
So very thin, very thin.
2 rails into the corner. Red should be out of the way.
And position.
And position.
That light that went out.
The light went out. Over table, was it 2? That one the one that Neil was trying to fix. You're doing a call.
Now she wants to make it out of the corner, but I don't know. Okay, she's all right. She got another very good shot. You probably play it off the yellow ball and drop the cue ball back into this corner by the red ball. Pick up 2 more cushions, and there it is. But she may have missed that. Yes, she did. Something she wouldn't do very often with that shot. I would think Sonny is going to bank for this shot, which means he's going to hit 3 or more rails before he hits either one of the balls. Maybe not, but sometimes it's hard to tell sitting down in this little booth exactly the way the balls are laying. No, he's not going to. Oh, what a hit. What a hit.
Oh, very nice.
He didn't have any room to work with there at all. Made it look easy. That's 2. There we go. Now that's how you play position.
Now that's a position shot.
Off
right
the
there.
red ball, 3 rails, maybe 4, back to the white ball.
I would say he's going to play it long, and he'll make it off the short rail.
Now he hits that. The speed it should make, but the speed is to get the red ball over here again, so he has a similar shot. It's difficult enough to control your own cue ball, but when you can control all 3 balls, you're a very, very good player, an experienced, knowledgeable player.
he trying? Yes, that's exactly what he was doing. Oh, I would have again shot that a little softer and let that English
Well,
kind
I
of
think he was probably coming down a
on it.
little. Yeah,
Yes,
elevate the bar of the cue a little bit,
Yes.
which gives it that little arc
Yep.
on the cue ball
Indeed,
and stretches it out a little longer.
Indeed. Very nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of this shot here, Bob?
You'd play the cushion
where
first.
you'd play the
behind
cushion first and come back over there.
Yeah. It's a very good shot, but she thought she had a better chance of making that one apparently, and also not leaving a shot.
Yes, well.
Because she knows where the red ball is going to end up, and if she misses a shot, she knows approximately where the white ball will end up.
Indeed. He's going to kick at. No, he's playing
He's
the
going to
2-on-1.
reverse this shot. Yes. 1, 2. Oops. Nope. He didn't. He didn't come down close enough to the corner with that shot.
Ooh, I think he sold out on this one, Bob.
Well, I would imagine that Gonzalez should make a couple off here. Uh-oh, this is trouble.
No, I think it's okay.
Okay, I thought that she had a lot of spin in
Thought it was going to go long.
Yeah, I thought it, but with a lot of spin in that ball, it shortens that angle up.
Now, she's
That's
good at
one.
these
Yes,
shots. A little thick on the yellow with English. Nope, she's going behind it. Yep. Just like that.
That's what I thought was going to happen on the previous shot.
Yes.
Play off the left-hand side of the red ball, come out of this corner over to his right, and right straight out onto the white ball. That's it.
And that's the point. No.
I think for some reason it's when it comes out of that corner, it seems to stretch long every time. They're not. These guys are so good; they don't shoot that shot unless they know it's possible to make it.
Now she missed the one kiss. She missed the second kiss, and she didn't hit the ball.
There's too many things you got to do in this game.
Yep.
Put them back on a pool table. All they have to do is hit the object ball into a pocket.
Yeah, you get that object ball right out of your way. You don't have to worry about it.
That's
again.
right. I believe this will be a 5-rail short.
Yes, sir. I
Actually,
believe that's the case.
I suppose you'd call that a
Backdoor?
7-rail shot. Yes.
Yeah.
He played that all the way. Just the way he scored it is exactly the way he played it.
He got a little unlucky the way it kind of lined up for him.
Well, he'll go probably around the red ball and. No, that
Seems short.
Could be short. It should, I think so. Yeah, it is. Well, Sonny's got to be getting near the end of this game. I don't think he needs too many points.
$21 to 13. Thank you.
Well,
21 to 14. So
can Mercedes go 12 and out? Certainly she can.
Indeed, she can.
Yes, she can. I think there'd be an unhappy camper as an opponent.
You think?
I would think so. I'm sure he's undefeated at present. And I don't think he would
Be pleased.
I don't think so at all.
And of course, the male ego would have nothing
Oh,
at
you
all
betcha.
to
You
do
betcha.
with this, would it? Boy, she's got a nice stroke, doesn't she, Bob?
That's right, but it's too much of this.
Too much arm, not
Rather
enough
than
elbow.
Yes, it's Again, nobody changed the way Stan Musial's. Nobody changed his batting stance.
Yes.
Nobody changed Willie Hoppy's side stroke.
Yes.
And you can go on and on like that. If you take something and practice it, you can become probably as good as anybody else. It's just easier to do it consistently if you have the fundamentals that make it easy. We have one of the U.S. champions, former U.S. champions, playing in this tournament. Is a style that he didn't copy from Hoppy. It's just that when he started to play, he couldn't reach the table, so he had the cue out. With rather than his arm hanging down, it was hanging over to his side, out in front, so he could reach get the cue going back and forth without banging into the rail. And that happens to be Carlos Hallen,
who's playing very well.
Yep. This is a tremendous field. I'm absolutely amazed at the strength of this field, the number of top-notch players that are here. 2 players from Turkey, absolutely phenomenal players. Look at that shot.
Look at that nice shot.
Nice little Massey draw shot. And got too much on it. Harder to miss that way than it is to make it.
Yeah, he missed it on the pro side, as they say. Oh, that's right. Oh, you kind of saw that one coming.
Yep.
Ooh.
Well, I'm not sure what he'll do here. I don't think he'll play at cross table, but he might. He's got a little bit of an angle there, so he might just go cross table, back and forth, long cushion to long cushion to long cushion.
Yes, I think that you're right there.
But again, this is the problem that he's had. The cushion just doesn't seem. Some cushions and some tables, it seems like that ball just continues to work towards. That's right.
Walk down
That's
the
right.
table.
It walks right on down the table, and this it does not. And I think the difference, if I would, my my guess would be that they are playing on a table that has Artemis rubber. And it is, if it's, Artemis makes more than one type of billiard rubber, carom billiard rubber. And I think this is probably the dark red Artemis rubber, and it just doesn't walk like you expect it to.
Well, actually, the rubber that's on these tables is what Olhausen calls their AccuFast.
Okay.
So it is not an Artemis.
It's
rubber.
not an Artemis rubber?
It is not. And it is made in the United States. And but I concur that this rubber is not walking the way it normally would on, for example, a clay bear rubber or one of the other rubbers.
Yeah, they used to go by. There were two very fine rubbers that went by. The one by the nickname of San Michel, and the other one by the nickname of Continental. And the San Michel was the clay bear, and the Continental was the Artemis.
Oh my gosh!
Very close.
I would like to have seen that one.
Well, this will be. I think he'll probably run this down into the corner and play it off the end rail. I would think.
Yep, absolutely. And make it.
Yes.
It would surprise me if he did not make this shot.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going, Case? How you doing?
Check this out. He'll play this short. He'll play it off the left-hand side of that ball. See the arc that it makes in shortening up?
Indeed. Now watch this.
Oh. Well,
actually, it was a make anyhow.
It was going to score regardless.
That finished the game.
Well, That's not the way that Sonny wanted to go out, but
But he'll take the win, and
he sure will, certainly will.
two very good competitors,
Mhm.
and it was very enjoyable to watch.
I agree. And the player that you can see in the edge of that picture, the other player seated, is one of the very, very good players from Turkey.
Oh, okay. I got the money for the cue.
You mean we get paid for doing this?
Okay, here.